my friend Clyde.
Hi, Clyde.
Ray Stevens classic. Let me tell you about Ahab the Arab, the sheik of the burning sands. He had emeralds and rubies dripping off of him, and a ring on every finger of his hand. He wore a big old turban around his head, and a scimitar by his side. And every evening about midnight, he'd jump on his camel named Clyde. Well, they ride silently through the night to the Sultan's tent, where he would secretly meet up with Fatima of the Seven Veils, the sweetest number one choice of the Seram's whole Harlem. Because, like him, he had a thing on, they carrying on for some time. All behind the Sultan's back. And you can hear him talk to the camel as he rode across the Deans. And he would say in Arabic, "Whoa, babies," and the Clyde would say, "Oh, no." Well, he brought his camel to a screeching halt at the rear of Fatima's tent. He jumped off Clyde, snuck around the corner, and into the tent he went. There he saw Fatima laying on a zebra scrub with rings on her fingers, bells on her toes, and a bow to her nose. Ho, ho, ho. There she was, friends and neighbors, lying there in all her radiant beauty, eating a raisin and a grape, and an apricot, a pomegranate, a bowl of chitlins, 2 bananas, some Hershey bars. And she was watching the Grand Ole Opry. And she sang, "Does your chewing gum taste the same after you leave it on the bedpost overnight?" Well, Ahab walked up to her and he said, "Well, I'm doing that." Which everybody, let's twist again like we did last summer, baby. She said, "Oh, crazy." Then all of a sudden the Sultan walked in, and he knew that this was the end. The Sultan had fire flashing in his eyes, and the Sultan caught Ahab, intending to make a dent in his head, and they fled with Fatima. Out of the tent they went. He jumped on Clyde and started to ride. Cutting across the grandstand with the Sultan's whole army behind him in 8 pursuit. And on they ran. Well, to make a long story short, they got away with it. There weren't no animal alive to keep up with Clyde once he started, because he was the swiftest steed in the whole desert. They made it across the border, where he hopped all his rubies and his emeralds, and he bought a swanky little split double. And they lived happily ever after. And that's the story of Ahab, the sheik of the burning sands.